In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to use the Divi Builder button module. You may have noticed that several of the Divi Builder modules already come with buttons. For example, the slider has a button, as does the call to action. But sometimes you just need to create a button all on its own, and that's where the Divi Builder button module comes in. For example, if I wanted to add a button below each of these three blurb modules, well then I could add the button using that button module. So I'm going to head over to the Divi Builder here, and underneath each of these blurbs I'm going to add the button module. So click the Insert Modules link, and then look for the button module in the list of available modules. And once you select the module, you'll be greeted by the module settings. And as with all Divi Builder modules, these settings are broken up into 3 tabs: General Settings, Advanced Design Settings, and Custom CSS. As a general rule of thumb, everything you need to build a really great website with the Divi Builder can be found inside that General Settings tab. But if you want even more control over the appearance of the module, well, then you can venture over to the Advanced Design Settings, and here you have you can adjust basically everything about the module's appearance, from font sizes, text color, borders, padding, all that great stuff. And if you happen to be a CSS savvy developer, you can also jump over to the Custom CSS tab and write your own CSS rules and apply them to any individual element within the module, and even apply custom CSS IDs and classes. Now we have some great tutorials that go over how to use these 2 design tabs, but for this tutorial I'm just going to focus on the general settings. So I'm going to head back to the General Settings tab and go over each of these basic settings in more detail. First up, we have the button URL, which is the URL that the visitor will be taken to when they click the button. So you're going to want to enter that destination URL here. Next, you can choose how that link is opened, either in a new tab or in the same window. And you can adjust the button text. So you might want to say something like join today, or click here, read more, that kind of stuff. So whatever you want your button to say, input that text. And you can also adjust the text color. So if you're working with a dark section, then you're going to want to have a light text color for your button. And if you're working on a light colored section, you're going to want to have a dark text color. So in this case, we're working on top of a white section, and so we're going to want to keep our text dark so that it's readable. And then these last 2 settings are settings that every module comes with, which is the Disable On setting, which allows you to disable the module on particular breakpoints. For example, you could enable the module on desktop computers, but have that module disappear when a visitor comes and visits the page on a mobile device. You can also adjust the admin label, which will change the name of the module within the Divi Builder interface to make it easier to recognize what module is what, and to keep things a bit more organized as you're building your page. So I'm going to save and exit, and then we're going to take a look at this button on the front end. And as you can see here, that button has been added. Below this blurb has my custom text, and it's a dark color and shows up great on that white background. And so to keep things easy, I'm going to duplicate this and place each of my duplicate buttons below the other 2 blurbs. And then I'm going to head back in here and just go over a few of the settings in the Advanced Design Settings tab, just to show you the kind of stuff you can do with these design controls. Now, if at any time you want to get a preview of what you're working with, you can click the preview icon, and that'll render the module within the current section. And so here we get a list of all of our blurbs and button modules. And as you adjust things, you can kind of bounce back and forth between that preview tab to see what your changes look like. So you could adjust the text size, and you want to make it a little bit smaller. I could adjust the text color. The button font, you could change the font, maybe make it bold and uppercase. And if we go back to the preview, you'll see that the text size has been reduced. We have a different font, and it's all uppercase. And there's so much more you can do. For example, I could change the background color. Maybe I want to really change the appearance here and go for like a purple button with white text. I could remove the border, add a big border radius around the corners. And there you go. I've completely changed the appearance of the button by making a purple background. I've added a border radius around the corners, and I've changed the text to white. And we have that custom font and font weight and text transformation. So yeah, that's a basic overview of the button module, as well as a little bit of the advanced design settings. And I encourage you to dig a little bit deeper in those, and also check out our advanced design settings and custom CSS tutorials.